Joining us now is Ian, and we had a long discussion about his product because it's so wonderful. It is a 3-in-1 ultimate pet bed. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Wow, I really enjoyed our conversation. So you came down from Maine, right?
That's correct, yep.
And we were laughing. We were talking about all the things that you are able to do in your journey, but this is your favorite thing that you've created.
Yeah, it is. It's my current passion project, that's for sure.
Okay, tell us about this. What was the moment of inspiration for you that you knew that you needed a tool or something that could help your pet?
Yeah, so unfortunately my dog became paralyzed about 6 years ago, and she kind of lost her ability to control her bladder and her bowel and her back legs. So she was struggling to kind of find her place and be comfortable in a car, and at night she would sometimes have accidents, and that wasn't great for me. Okay. So we came up with an idea. It has a little arm, it slides in between your mattress and your box spring. So this nice little bed sits right at bed height, right next to you. It's like a co-sleeper, essentially. So my little pup could sleep right next to me without having to leave, but she was still, I didn't have to wake up to any incidents or anything like that.
Right, exactly. You didn't have to change the sheets for both of you every single night of your life, right?
Yep.
So what made you realize that this was going to not just help you and your family, but like other families?
So immediately, when I put this on the end of my bed, my sister's dogs always come over. She's got 5 dogs actually, and they wanted to be in the bed.
Wow.
They wanted to be in the bed, whether it was attached to your mattress or if it was just on the ground in the living room. So they were really excited about it. Cats are pretty stoked about it too.
Okay.
So yeah.
Is it the texture? What is it about what you've created that made it so like inviting for them?
What's great about it is that it's soft, but it has rigid sides.
Okay.
So this is basically a steel box underneath here. So your dog or pet can lay right in the bed and kind of rest its chin right here on the crust.
Okay.
Super comfortable.
Makes for cute pictures too, right? I've seen some of the pictures and they're adorable.
Exactly. And then when you're in the car, the bucket functionality actually helps hold the pet in safely.
Okay. You were talking, and who's your loved one? Who's your pet?
Piglet.
Piglet.
Her name's Piglet. She just turned 17.
Oh, congratulations. So you were saying to me that, when you would try to go on a car ride, though, that, the baby would be like, because of her.
Exactly.
And
she
very
doesn't
dangerous.
have use. Yeah, it doesn't have use of her back legs, so she doesn't really know where her back end's going.
Okay.
Being a dachshund Chihuahua, has a very long body, and she's always looking back like, where's it headed?
Right.
And when she could sit in this bed, she just kind of lays down. It's the only time she's really comfortable in the car.
Fabulous. Was it hard to create an invention like this?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was a long process.
Did you have like a mechanical background or anything?
Personally, I did not.
Okay.
No, we found a manufacturer who was like our redneck engineer, right?
Okay.
So he worked with us and designed this bed in step by step.
Also
with us.
a pet lover, I
exactly,
think, right?
Exactly.
I know. I think that's what it is. When you find someone, a team that has the same passion or purpose that you have, and that you're just so driven to bring it into reality, right? It's such a need. What has the reaction been from people?
So it's been great. We've been out to a few different trade shows out in Vegas and Orlando, and we were in the new product expo, and it's just the reach out and just surrounding everyone is just really impressed with the product. And its reach is pretty great so far.
Now, what about the weight? From what size to what size can this work?
So basically we have a 40-pound weight limit.
Okay.
So anybody under 40 pounds can fit in there relatively perfectly.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
What are some of your, other friends that have invented things? Like if you're going to like co-brand a few different things.
Sure.
What are some other things that you find that help your pet have a more functional life?
Yeah. So right now my dog has a wheelchair.
Okay.
So Walkie Paws is a great company that we worked with as well. They have really, really nice wheelchairs. They're very inexpensive. And we also have another company that we like to work with, hopefully soon. And they have a cooling and a heating pad. So it inserts right where this pillow is. This pillow is actually reversible here. You can kind of see the suede on the bottom as well.
Oh, nice.
But it has a cooling and heating pad that you can insert in there. And it'll keep your pet cooler in the summer and warm in the winter.
Unbelievable. So you're Piglet's dad.
Yeah,
It's so cool.
I'm Piglet's dad.
It's so cool. And what is the turnaround time from the time you order it? About how many weeks does it take to actually get to your home?
So right now, it's pretty quick. The
Okay.
turnaround time is about 48 hours for shipping, and it takes
that's
about 2 to
impressive.
3 business days to ship.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's really exciting. I'm happy for you, Ian. What else do you want us to know about the product? When you say it's 3-in-1, what does that mean?
So 3-in-1 essentially means you have this car seat attachment here.
Okay.
But this whole bed bucket pops right off. There's a little release button on the back, and it clips onto your mattress attachment, which just slides in between your mattress and your box spring, like we said before. But you can also just throw this bucket right on the ground.
Okay.
So it's also a
traditional
great
pet
way,
bed.
exactly, a traditional bed. And it's a great way to kind of assimilate the bed into usage in the car and on the mattress attachment as well.
It's really nice. And even for the safety features, like you said, like,
Exactly.
you know, to avoid injury, you know, when they're in the car rides
Very
and things like
important,
that. It's
yeah.
very important. I thank you. Thank you for being on our show. It's a pleasure to meet you. And I think your innovation is great. You know, I personally, at the current moment, don't have a little pup of my own, but I don't know, maybe there's one in my future. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Really, really loved it. Loved it. Innovation, right? It's the ultimate pet bed. Why is that? Because it's the ultimate. And I also liked the fact that it flips over, right? From the really shaggy side to like the smooth suede. So stay tuned for more. We're living it up right here. I'm Donna Drake, and I was visiting with Ian, the inventor. Be well. Joining us now is Josh Fox. We're going to be talking about his foundation and all the wonderful work he does in the community. Welcome to the show.
Good to see you again.
Yes. How ironic is that? So I was a guest at one of your latest fundraisers, and I was looking to try to get to meet you, but there's been about a decade since the last time you were on the show.
Yeah, no, I think it was 10, 12 years ago that we did something similar.
It was a
You haven't
long
aged
time
a
ago.
day.
I haven't?
No, you look
nor have
exactly
you,
the same.
But you look amazing.
Thank you.
Life is treating you pretty well. So when I first got to the event, which was out east, I thought it was like a paddleboard event. But where the event was, there was no water around it, Josh. So I was like, wait, paddleboard? I'm like, I don't understand this, but it's not, it's padel.
Right.
Okay, so what is that? What is padel?
I mean, I think it's really known as like the fastest growing sport in the world right now. It's a combination of tennis and racquetball. You're encased in glass walls, and including myself, everybody that I seem to know has become obsessed with this sport, especially in Miami, where I spend most of the year, where the weather is really beautiful. Padel, paddle, it depends how you, tomato,
Yes.
tomato, how you want to pronounce it. But it's really a wonderful social sport because you need 4 people to play. Tennis, typically people play singles, but what's nice about paddle is you really need 4 people. So it's very social, and it's really a great opportunity to do fundraising for foundations like ours.
Yeah, now tell me about that. What was the start of your foundation? What made you create that?
I've always just been an animal lover since I was born, and I had this dog named Brady who was named after the illustrious Tom Brady, who I went to the University of Michigan with. And you know, when he unfortunately passed about 3 years ago, it really was a dark time for me, losing your best friend, no pun intended, man's best friend. And that really got me going to want to start a foundation helping animals. At that point, I had Hunter, his brother, but unfortunately a few months ago, Hunter's also since passed. So
Sorry.
the foundation is named after both of them, the Brady Hunter Foundation. And weirdly, yesterday was National Pet Memorial Day. And so I was at the cemetery yesterday visiting them, and was with 300-400 other people at the cemetery, all, you know, banding together and understanding the sadness that we feel and the loss of animals.
Yeah, when I was there, I realized what you're doing is you're raising money with this at this foundation to actually help pet families and pets.
Yes.
Right? That's what it does. It goes right back into the community. What are some of the major initiatives that you've had with this?
Well, we really believe in our tagline, which is all species are created equal. You know, we don't really see a difference between a cow or a pig or a goat or a sheep or a dog or a cat. And so the projects that we've gotten involved in over the last 3 years are very diversified across different species and animals, and diversified across different countries. So I think we're up to like 15 or 16 countries that we're
Beautiful.
now in. You know, rhinos and elephants, I mean, they are such incredible creatures. I mean, people really love those. And we, for example, we built an airplane in South Africa, the Brady Hunter airplane that flies over the skies, and we do anti-elephant and anti-rhino poaching to try to protect those beautiful animals.
When someone comes to you with a need, where they say, Josh, there is a problem, how do you vet that? How do you decide, wow, you know what? let's all get a team behind this? You know, what is the criteria, I guess, for someone? Because it
It's
seems
really
like there's so
hard,
much
yeah.
help that needs to happen.
Yeah. Our latest is orangutans. I mean, what a horrible situation that whole thing is. They're just cutting down the rainforests to create palm oil that we put in crackers that we eat, and we're just destroying the rainforest and killing the orangutans along the way. So that's our latest project that we teamed up with Natalie Bolt, I mean, the famous actress, who really opened our eyes to this whole thing. And so we're doing a campaign right now where we're matching up to $20,000, whatever money that the public puts up for the orangutans, we're matching dollar for dollar up to $20,000 for that one project.
Wonderful. People can go to your website. It's very extensive. You have a lot of research information on there, a lot of opportunities for people to participate at any level, right? One of the things that I do like about your foundation is that everything's out in the open. It's very educational. You want to like share the mission. You want to express, I guess you're almost like the voice for animals, because sometimes they aren't able to be the advocates for themselves.
Yeah, that was another tagline that we love, the voice of the voiceless.
Yeah.
You know, most animals don't speak, of course. I mean, I think maybe some parrots can talk, but very few animals can speak our exact language. So we really love being the voice of the voiceless. And we're just doing wonderful projects. You know, I went to the University of Michigan, I mentioned earlier, and we're in the process of acquiring like 60 acres of land in Michigan near the college campus.
Really?
To create a farm sanctuary where we'll rescue farm animals that have been abused or neglected, and then couple it with a sanctuary for humans. You know, there's a huge epidemic in children, especially in college campuses today, about, you know, mental illness. And we want to create this wonderful place where people can come and do like a sauna, a steam, a cold plunge, get a green juice or a smoothie, and spend time like, you know, relaxing, doing meditation or yoga as a human, and then spend time with the animals. So there's this healing power.
Like a therapeutic, full platform.
Yeah.
When you graduated from the University of Michigan, did you ever think that you would be one of their donors, that you would want to give back, you know, as an alumni? Was that part of your, did you know, like when, at what point, Josh, like, you know, you graduate from high school, you go on to UMich, and then all of a sudden you become successful and you decided now to be a giver. At what point did that happen for you?
I think people realize like life is finite. I don't know if that happens in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, but you know, I think in your 20s and 30s, you're like, oh, life is forever. And then it kind of clicks and you're like, this thing ends at some point, and there's a whole process of, you know, you want to give back and be remembered for something beautiful. And for me, it was really animals. Like I've just always loved animals, and I didn't love the way that humans treat animals. You know, like what's going on in New York City with the horse carriages, that's something that we really hate, and we've been fighting against, you know, that process also. So, you know, wherever, you asked about projects, wherever we see, you know, neglect, abuse, where humans are just not treating animals with kindness. I mean, that's always been my favorite word, kindness, you know, like treat others as you would want to be treated, and an animal too. You know, again, it's not just kindness from human to human, it's kindness from human to animal and animal to human.
A lot of times, severe cases of animal abuse, you know, neglect or actually injury, right? There was a story that I had read where, you know, a dog had been injured, you know, their neck, right, had been cut with a machete, and like horrifying stories. What helps you kind of stay calm and just not like lose it, like going to bed every night, just like crying on your pillow? Is it that you're trying to take a step to make life better? Like,
knowing that we make a difference.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there was a dog in Florida that was sliced by a machete by a human, a terrible human, and we were able to get to the dog in time, and we performed the life-saving surgery. We paid for the surgery, and that dog went on to get adopted.
has a new family.
Yeah.
And a new life.
Yeah.
You also kind of work in television, which you also weren't doing when we first met like 10 or 12 years ago, right? Tell us about that show and how that is also an outgrowth for you.
I mean, we met the legendary Jeff Corwin, who has been the greatest advocate for the environment and animals on television probably the last 30 years. And we shared with him the stories that we were doing and the projects that we were working on for animals and for the environment. And he thought they were great stories to tell on television. So we pitched it to CBS. We came up with this great name, Extraordinary World, with Jeff Corwin. It's ordinary people doing extraordinary things in their community for children and for animals. And we've had a great first season. It's been airing since January. It airs every Saturday morning. And sadly, the show is coming to an end at the end of September, but it was a really great first year, and every episode can be streamed and viewed on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, which is nice too, because that streaming allows them to have second screenings.
Yeah.
And it'll have an extra life, right? It'll go on for a little while after that. Wonderful stories. It was about ordinary people doing extraordinary things, or extraordinary people doing extraordinary things. Either way,
Ordinary
it's wonderful.
people doing extraordinary things,
yeah.
That like you can make a difference in your community.
Absolutely.
You know, when I first moved to Florida, like I was walking the beaches and I was just horrified by the plastic and the pollution that we've left as humans. And that wildlife living in the ocean is just as important as the wildlife living on land. And so slowly but surely, like I walked with my dogs, we would pick up the plastic, we would inspire more people. And now we do beach cleanups years later. We've had 200-300 people at a time, like doing, beach cleanups, and we'll pick up on a given day like a couple of 1,000 pounds of trash.
Wow, you love it.
So we
do you
want to
love
like
what
inspire
you do? Yeah, I was gonna
people,
say
you know?
you are inspiring. You're an inspiration yourself. Like when I went to that event, it's a good 200 people were there, all with the same idea of like, okay, we're going to raise money. You have a lot of ordinary people, right? Some extraordinary people, everybody in between. But it seems like you're very welcoming. Because every dollar matters, right? So whether somebody can give of their time, their talent, or their treasure, you will take that and then put it together for good.
100%.
Josh Fox, I'm glad to have you back. Like I want you to come on all the time. I just like you. I thought you were like extraordinary. It was fun when we got reconnected, our paths crossed again, and I want to bring value to your organization. I truly am mission driven, as you could tell, and if I can at least bring some awareness to you or somebody to make or write you a gigantic check, great. And if not, if they could just volunteer for you, I'm sure that you would welcome all of it.
We love volunteers. Yeah.
Thank you. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that it's on your heart that you want to share?
Just Long Island has been my home. My parents moved to Long Island 50 years ago and still are in the same house. And so I wanted to do more and more for like the place that I grew up, and so I'm on the board of the Southampton Animal Shelter. We get an email every single day. There's not a day that goes by that we're not having an adoption at the shelter. We're even adopting bunnies and cats and dogs. I mean, it's a really beautiful place. So, I'm proud to be on that board of directors. And, for anyone who knows Andy Sabin, I mean, he's just a legend in Long Island. What a great guy. He built the South Fork Museum, where we educate kids and teach the next generation about how to treat animals. And he was able to secure hundreds and hundreds of acres of land to preserve it for the next generation. So it wasn't, knocked down by builders in the Hamptons that are just stealing all the land. We need more people like Andy Sabin. We need more people like the Southampton Animal Shelter, people that really care about saving the land for the future generations.
Thank you. It's really nice to visit with you. Nice to celebrate a little bit of your time. I really thank you. I know you travel all over the world, so it was nice that you were back here in your hometown. Well, that was my visit. I'm Donna Drake. We have been visiting with Josh Fox. Please, if you want to make a difference and you're anywhere in the world, reach out to them. They're doing good work. Thanks for watching. With us now is David Armstrong. Welcome to the show, David.
Hi, Donna. It's great to be here.
Well, I want to congratulate you. You have a new baby, and I have it with me right now.
It was, I feel like I gave birth. It was 2 years of my life, absolutely.
So,
it was a long pregnancy, I guess.
Oh, indeed. Broadway Nation. There are years and years of research that you were able to tap into to cull together the essence of a wonderful book. We were saying before the camera started rolling, it's almost a textbook, if you will. It's so accurate, so historical. What made you decide to start on this journey?
So I was actually approached by the publishers. I teach a course on the history of the Broadway musical at the University of Washington School of Drama. And out of that, I started a podcast also called Broadway Nation. That was basically, my idea was to take my lectures from my university courses and make a sort of more general audience friendly version of them And then the podcast has been very successful. And then the publishers of the book, Methuen and Drama, which is a imprint of Bloomsbury Publishing, knew about it, found out about it, and asked me if I would be interested in writing a book, which actually, as you just said, they're interested in using as promoting as a textbook for university programs, although I wrote it as for a general audience as well.
Congratulations for that. You know, I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. I moved to New York quite a long time ago, but there's nothing quite like that feeling of being there, Broadway, right? I love musicals, always have, I continue to love them. What started your passion for that? At what age did you kind of develop that? Because you've produced, you've done so many different things, and you know, what started the love of Broadway for you personally?
From the very beginning, I was one of those weird children who just was immediately drawn to everything about musical theater, mostly from movies, because I grew up in Cincinnati, not so far from you in St. Louis. And what I knew about Broadway and musicals mostly came from seeing movies on television. And of course, during the 60s, when I was a child, that was when all those big movie musicals were being made, Oliver and Sound of Music, one after another, sort of like the golden age of Broadway rebooted on the movie screens back then. So I just knew that I was just immediately drawn to it. I was one of those weird kids who would organize the whole neighborhood into putting on shows that I would direct and write and star in. So in some ways, I always say I've been doing what I do now as a producer and a director since I was 9 years old, basically.
Absolutely beautiful. What is a ticket stub or a favorite piece of memorabilia that is in your own private collection that you absolutely still cherish?
For me, I probably, and I've talked about this show, significantly in the book, the opening night tickets to Hairspray on Broadway, which I'm happy to say I ran the Fifth Avenue Theater in Seattle for 18 years, and we did the world premiere of Hairspray at the Fifth Avenue Theater. So to see that show go from its initial workshops and readings all the way to its first performance in Seattle and then opening night on Broadway was one of the most thrilling experiences of my life. And one of the joys of this book is, although I talk about, in the book, I write about the history of Broadway and about many things, of course, I didn't experience because they happened way before my time. This was a place where I get to draw from my own personal experiences and write about that, which was really exciting.
Well, our show airs in Seattle. It's one of our top wonderful cities that we absolutely love and adore. And it was wonderful for me to realize that you started so many different things there too. Also Aladdin, The Christmas Story. You've worked and workshopped so many different musicals. And I guess that's kind of how it works. It's almost like minor league baseball and then it makes the majors. Would you say that that's a good analogy for those that are watching this?
Absolutely, very, very much. And with a Broadway musical, you don't know what you have until you put it in front of an audience. You can't just put it out of the box. You have no idea, and then the show changes and grows and evolves. So that process throughout the history of Broadway, and the book covers 125 years of the Broadway musical. In the old days, they used to go out of town to Boston and New Haven. You probably know the song, another opening, another show in Philly, Boston, or Baltimore. Exactly. That was all about that old-fashioned out-of-town tryout period. Now it mostly happens at regional theaters around the country. But the same process is happening. You put it up in front of an audience, the audience responds and participates, and then the show changes and evolves, and eventually will go, if it goes to Broadway, it's because that audience helped you make it.
Yes, indeed. And it is truly all about the audience, that give and take, if you will. You know, they say the grease paint and, the lights, and the whole phrase about breaking a leg is basically when you're like on stage and like you want, the applause and everything, and then the stage lights are down below. It's like there's so much of theater that represents life and life that represents theater. And there's nothing better than a musical or a Broadway show or something that just makes you emote, takes you on a journey, if you will, where we can just escape reality and just embrace being somewhere, anywhere, right?
I couldn't agree with you more.
I also
And
like to say, yes?
Go ahead. I was going to say one of the amazing things about the Broadway musical, and as I wrote this book, is it's so tied into the history of America. So the history I talk about in the book is as much about the way this country developed and the kinds of people that created the Broadway musical and then how they changed America in the process of creating it.
Well, David, if they could see us now, right?
Exactly. I write about that. That's from Sweet Charity. It's also a show that gets featured in the book as well. And the authors of that, what most people don't know is how much women were involved in the history of the Broadway musical. And that's one of the things I highlight. And that lyric you were just singing was written by Dorothy Fields, one who had a 50-year career on Broadway and wrote many of the greatest songs ever written for the Broadway musical.
It's such a delight and a joy to have you here. Thank you so much for your kindness. Thank you for dedicating many, many years of your life that are in these pages. It's wonderful. It's comprehensive. It's well done. It's thoughtful. It's a winner. So congratulations. I even love this. I love this. You have like really great illustrations that are in here too that just kind of document what happened. This one is on page 154. It's a Broadway musical, and it's how things get from going back to the 1873 all the way to 1947. You have timelines. So this is a really thoughtful retrospective of Broadway. And gosh, David, thank you so very much for putting this all together, for spending late nights, as I'm sure that you did, to create this into reality. So
thank you,
bravo.
Donna. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to tell people about it.
Bravo. And if I could stand up, I'd give you a standing ovation. So way to go, David Armstrong. Yay!
Thank you.
Woo! Big round of applause. Okay. Thank you. It was a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so
Great.
much.
Wonderful to be with you, Donna. Thank you so much. Can't wait
You're
to have everyone hear about it. Thank you.
Yeah, exciting. Okay, be well, my friend. Take care.
I think when I moved to London, I was just very interested in how, even though they speak the same language as us, even though our countries have a lot in common, there's also a lot about the cultures that's so different, and what it was to be an American girl sort of let loose in the UK, and also to obviously fall in love with someone from the UK and see what our similarities were, and also the ways where communication could be slightly confusing considering we are technically both speaking English. And so that was kind of the jump off point for the show. And obviously my husband worked on it with me. So while there is a lot that's personal, it then, once you start writing, it takes on a life of its own. So it's by no means, a rip from the headlines, true story, but like in all my work, there's always a germ of something. I think whenever you watch the person you love doing what they love, you learn a lot about them, and you learn that it's inspiring, it's compelling. You have fascinating sort of debates. I wouldn't say we had arguments, but you have debates. You find what speaks to each other, what doesn't. And so it just brought us closer, and I love being able to go to work with him. So I feel really lucky. I think that my approach is just that because I had some time away, I really got to learn, how do I like to work? How do I like to work as a director, as a writer? How do I like to work with actors? And then you trust yourself in a different way when you're 38 than you do when you're 24, which is how old I was when we shot the Girls pilot. So just that additional life experience helped me to walk into it with a kind of confidence that I just didn't even know to have when I was younger. And I think that's the real beauty of aging. As I can say, as I'm a year away from 40, is knowing yourself and knowing what you're about and knowing what you're good at and knowing what you're not good at and being able to ask for help. Like, those are all skills that came about in the last 10 years. Like everything I write, it's complicated, there's darkness, there's humor, but I hope that people find it loving and joyful and that it leaves them feeling some hope. Like, I was a person who didn't necessarily think like relationships, marriage would be in my cards, and I always joke to my friends, like, if I can find someone to marry, you can too. But I think I wanted to create something that had hope, not just romantic hope, but hope for human connection, for human understanding. I feel like that's what the world needs now. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. I've been coming to Tribeca since I was a kid. Jane Rosenthal, who helped found the festival with Robert De Niro, is a close friend of our family. So I would come, my first ever film screenings were I remember going to like the premiere of The Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood and thinking in like 7th grade and thinking like, I'm the fanciest person who's ever lived. I just went to Tribeca Film Festival. And I love this festival. I mean, I've screened my film that I produced, Treasure, here last year. I've come often to do talks, to do events. You know, I've been largely out of New York for the last 6 years, and I'm here to make a movie this summer. And I'm just remembering that there is nothing quite like shooting on the New York streets. Like, something's always happening that you didn't expect. Someone's always running through the back of the frame. Someone's always shouting something weird from the side of the street. Like, that kinetic energy is the thing that I think, even though at times when you're a New Yorker, you go, I'm so tired, coming back more as a visitor, I love it. Like, I walk out into the street every day and I'm able, because it's a brief jaunt, to appreciate it in a new way. And there just really is nothing like shooting on the streets of New York.
I mean, anything that I legally can. I'm obsessed with a strong, powerful female voice that is amazing at storytelling and changing the landscape of television and how we see ourselves and, what we should be deserving of, like what we're earned, what we've earned rather. And also just a good old multi-hyphenate. Like, what can't you do? Being a multi-hyphenate means that not only you are writing, producing, directing, show running, creating, right? But you're also leading the way for a safe space for people to be their best selves. And you can only do that if you've done the work on yourself. So, I mean, I feel like comedy is sort of just like also adulthood. Again, you can only take care of people if you take care of yourself. And so I feel like no matter if I've been doing comedy for 2 years or 20 years, I'm never going to punch down. I'm only punching up. That's the whole point of comedy, to provide, again, a safe space for us to share our views in a hilarious, thought-provoking way where people don't feel berated and like less than. The kind of energy you can expect from us on stage tonight is good energy. Pure, fun, functional, hilarious, boom. What excites me about her journey? I mean, all of it, right? The fact that she's so vulnerable and raw and still wraps it up in a comedic bow, and that it's palatable and educational and hilarious at the same time. That's what you're supposed to do with your platform, and she does it through and through with every project.
Joining us now is Adela, and she is the owner of Purposeful Pup, and it is a wonderful line of healthy, nutritious food. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing so well. How are you?
Good. I said Purposeful Pet originally, but it's Pup,
Yes.
right? Okay,
Yes.
So it's for our doggies.
Yes.
Okay, what made you decide to start this brand? And it's extensive. You have a lot of different varieties.
Yeah, our heart was so to provide something natural for dogs. If you look at the statistics, I mean, everyone has a dog. Like 50% of America has a dog. But not only we wanted to provide that product for the dogs, we are so mission driven in our company, and that really is the heart of what we do, why we do. We felt called to steward this responsibility of having impact in the world.
Yes.
And by doing that, we donate a part of our proceeds to
The Hope,
nonprofit.
right? It's like
yeah.
Hope Always Foundation.
Yeah, we are with Hope Always. We donate to Convoy of Hope.
Okay.
We work with individual like shelters. Like service dog training. There's so many opportunities, not just for animals, but also for humans. And that's our heart, really to push that impact in the world. Yeah.
What was the name of your first pup?
Axel.
Okay.
He's still with us today.
Wonderful.
He is a Doberman and the sweetest he's like a little baby. He's
Okay.
big, but a little baby.
Okay, and because you're from Chicago, so somebody's caring for him, I guess,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So
He's with family.
what is your branding? Like, tell me all the different products that you're offering. And
Yes.
there's sometimes they're kind of unique. So I guess different
Yes.
things are to help, like with their teeth or for their bones or for their
Correct.
their coat.
Yes.
Okay.
So we do offer 100% single ingredient treats. We have animal parts
Okay.
and also meat treats. So those are like our sausage products or jerky, little bite nugget size. So great for training, for snacking, for really anything. And the benefits are so huge because you got to ask yourself, like, there's so many pups in the world that have health issues, right?
do.
And why?
Right.
We gotta
And you
ask
think it was the
ourselves.
ingredients. That's what I was going to ask you.
Right.
So it's a variety of products. It's
Yeah.
single, 100% single ingredients. So like, it's just duck feet.
Right.
What's Axel's favorite? Like when you are
Yeah.
doing something with him, like what does he love the best?
He's definitely our tester. He
Okay.
eats everything, but he loves our soft products. And a very unique one that he loves is actually our rabbit ear products. Those are a huge hit right now.
Okay.
So we have a variety of proteins, which is great for the dogs because some dogs have allergies, right, like to chicken or to pork. But a great one is rabbit. We offer rabbit, we offer turkey, we offer lamb, which is really unique, and some of them have hypoallergenic, properties, which are so beneficial for the pups. Not only healthy, but good for the pet owners who know they have those sensitivities. So,
And I guess it's also good for longevity, right?
Yes.
Have you noticed that your customers and they're giving you like these great testimonials, like my pup wasn't able to
100%.
do this, but now they're able to do that?
Yes.
So let's talk about that too. Like just the benefits of when you feed your child, your baby,
Right.
your puppy, nutritiously, that it benefits them in so many different ways.
Yes, it does. And we have seen, pet owners are so conscious nowadays of what they're giving, just like us, right? We are trying to be mindful of what we eat, and now they're trying to do that for their pups. And a lot of customers are really raving about, like, my dog only wants these treats.
Okay.
Because of they're so natural. And we've even had people send us videos of, like, laying out a few different brands, and they're going, to ours, because they're like, it's 100% meat.
Della, I love that.
Yeah. And so it's like, it speaks for itself.
Right, they can see,
Yeah.
smell and see and taste the difference.
Yes.
And they're choosing yours.
Yes,
I
and
love
even for
that.
health, like coats, like their coats and their mobility, their dental, it all has benefits all around. So
We like doing segments like this. We have a few other people that are here today that I hope you get a chance to meet because pets are really like, they're part of our families
They
now.
are.
And I think when I grew up, it was almost as if, not that they weren't part of the family, but people would treat their pets as if they were just kind of like a different class. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's like, oh, it's
yeah.
my dog, I got to take my dog here or whatever.
Right.
But now I feel like there's more love and there's more
Yes.
embracing of the
Yes.
whole entire
Yeah.
essence of having a puppy.
100%.
So-
They definitely are part of the family.
Yeah, I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Really, really wonderful. How do we get it? How do people order it?
Yeah, so we are, small business, but we're branching out and growing, which has been so exciting. You can find us in some local stores. So we are in Hollywood. We are in Erewhon, if you've heard of Erewhon,
Yeah.
in the LA area. We're also online. We're in a lot of like individual mom and pop stores, which we just love so much. Being a small business, being able to partner with small businesses is exciting. We're also online on our website. You can find us on our website. So yeah, we're branching out, really excited. We also have some new partnerships that are in play, right? We have, we just got in with Kroger, Vitacost.com.
Congratulations, Kroger's
yeah.
big. Good job.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and in talks with FabFitFun. So we're some exciting things coming out, and we want to be able to provide such an awesome product that has great impact everywhere that we can. So pet owners know, we like to say that every pup has purpose. And
Yes.
so every time you give that treat, just know that the impact is going so much further than that moment.
Hence your branding, Purposeful Pup.
Yes.
Thank you, Adela. Truly, thank you so much. Thank you
Yeah.
for making the trip here to New York to be on so that we could feature you and
Absolutely.
celebrate you and celebrate
Absolutely.
all those pups out there. So thank you
Yes.
again. If you have a pet in your family and it happens to be a pup, try Purposeful Pup. Be well. Joining us now are Kristina, Aria, and Shira. And no, they are not a female band, but they have banded together. They are nurse practitioners that started their own company called Illumi Rx. Yay! Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you.
Good, good. So you help people with their health all day long, but now also their beauty, right?
Correct.
So internal wellness and external wellness. So Kristina, what was the impetus of this? How did you get together?
Yeah, we,
With Ira and Shira.
we've been talking about it for a while at work. We work together. That we wanted to do this. We wanted to kind of move over into the, aesthetic and wellness. So we decided to take a course like a couple years ago, and we loved it. And so we were like, how can we make this happen and come to life? And so that's kind of what we've been working on, to figure out. Yeah.
I like the model. I like what you're offering. So you're offering IV hydration. Obviously, you know a lot about IVs, I guess, right? So when you're doing it well, right? So IV hydration, Botox, but also weight loss. A little bit of all three of those things combined. Shira, when you were deciding to become a nurse practitioner, right? What was your reason behind going into the field?
So I worked as a registered nurse for 12 years.
Okay.
And I wanted more autonomy, to be able to take care of my own patients. And as a nurse practitioner, we can do that. So now we have our own clientele, and it's amazing to have that responsibility of caring personally for people.
It's a beautiful story. And one of the things I like, Ira, is that you make house calls.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
That's so wonderful. So you're bringing this information, these wellness treatments, into someone's home directly.
Correct.
Okay. How does that set up? How do you onboard somebody into working with you?
So we basically we're getting contacted by the client, and it could be off hours as well, which is amazing. So it's all this personalized aesthetic and wellness services in the comfort of your home.
Now, do you collaborate as a team? Do you decide like what things you want to do for the clientele? You have like team meetings and things like that? Because that's how I envision it being.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
We do communicate a lot.
Okay.
I feel like, Ira does more of like the IV hydration. She's very knowledgeable in that. She keeps up with like the latest and greatest and what people need. I've done a lot of fillers, so if people want more of like lip fillers and cheek fillers and stuff like that, they'll kind of refer them to me. And we all do, of course, like the Botox. So yeah, we communicate a lot. Yeah.
How do you know how much to like dose, I guess, right? When is it the conversation appropriate when you say, okay, I think your lips are a little too full, or they look nice this way? How do you delicately consult with them on like what is the right amount for them?
Yeah,
is it just a feeling, Shira? Like, how do you know?
So I would say to them, as a medical professional and
Okay.
being in this profession, my suggestion would be this.
Okay.
I think this is, enough, but we're there to make them happy. So, if that's what they like, then that's the most important thing.
Okay, so it's a collaboration
Yeah.
between you as the practitioners and them as the client.
Yeah.
What is one of the most successful outcomes you've seen, Ira? Like, do you remember like a success story of something that brought somebody a lot of joy?
Oh yeah. Actually, with the weight loss management, we use the tirzepatide, and it really, really helped out one of my client. Her goal was at least 20 pounds, but then she was able to lose like 25 pounds, and it gave her joy from inside and satisfaction because of her knees. All of this, it helped out her knees, her back. And the weight loss was really amazing for her.
A lot of times people are talking, I see a lot of ads on television for cortisol poisoning. Maybe it's not on TV, maybe it's in my phone, right? It's like, you've got cortisol poisoning, you've got this, you've got that, you've got this, you've got that. Are you able to kind of talk to people about like what the cause of their weight issue is, and that's why this might be a good program for them, the consultation portion?
Yeah, like definitely, you want to, stress, of course, is like a big thing, which rises your cortisol levels. So like enough sleep, your stressful environment, ways to reduce your stress, strategies that you can do to help with everyday stress. And also, diet, nutrition, exercise are also important things that need to go along with the weight loss medications.
Okay.
So we can meet with them and make sure that that's happening too, and that they have the support that they need.
Where Botox, I think, is also helpful for someone like my age is that when you do a lot of weight loss, you tend to also lose in your face,
Yeah.
right? So like I have these little angry 11s, and I also have these little lines here too. And not too bad for 60, not
No.
too bad right now.
No.
But I did notice that a lot of times, sometimes after weight loss, somebody might want a little bit of something to kind of help rejuvenate and flush out what seems sullen right now.
Yeah, and I'm sure people have seen, because, a lot of talk about the muscle wasting with the weight loss medications. So we actually work with a pharmacy specifically to include B12 and glycine in our compound, which helps prevent this muscle wasting, obviously with lifestyle modifications as well. So we do take all those things into consideration as well.
Yeah, B12 is important, isn't it? Yeah, and also sunshine. There's a lot of vitamins and nutrients that we're all supposed to be doing a little bit better with. I thank you for joining us. And also, like once a month, you also have a location that if somebody wanted to book, if they didn't want you to come to them, you could go. They can come to you.
I do a pop-up 1 to 2 times a month. I do a pop-up. It's 53rd and 3rd. It's at Mati Salon. And I'll always post that on our website as well, when I'm going to be there. And it helps. That way people have a location to come to too sometimes. It's easier for them, and it's Midtown, so it's a great location.
I'm glad that you were all like in the same shift at the hospital and you're able to meet one another and like, instead of just like talking about nonsense, created something like great, so congratulations to all of you.
Thank you.
Really, really
Thank
nice
you.
to meet all of you. There you go. What a wonderful concept of them coming together. I'm Donna Drake and I have been visiting with Kristina and Aria and Shira. Be well. Joining us now are Marissa and Ashley, and we're going to be talking about FillerFix. I got a little education just now in the green room, and so I'm excited to talk to them, and I'm sure that you will be happy to listen to them as well. So FillerFix, right? I had the misconception that when people got their lips filled that they were getting them filled with Botox, and you both smiled very kindly at me, and you're like, no, Donna, that's not what happens, right? But afterwards, there needed to be an aftercare, and that's how you came up with FillerFix. Okay, so who called the other one on the phone and said, hey, I got this idea? Or were you sitting around like at lunch or something?
It was truly just an organic conversation. We were chatting on Instagram DMs, and we were like, hey, what are you going to use after you get your filler done? Because you're sore, you're bruised, you're tender. And we started searching, and neither of us could find a product that we would want to use. Usually the doctors say to use some petroleum-based product, Vaseline Aquaphor, something like that, and we didn't want to do that, so we did some research. We started experimenting in our kitchens. Our first batch was made in our kitchens. And then we decided to pass it out to family and friends. We got good feedback, so then we took it a step further and decided to market it.
It's absolutely brilliant. You're a fairly young company, right?
Yeah.
Very.
So it took a lot in the research, the development. So besides making it in your kitchen, right, you needed to actually go through the proper steps. What were some of those early days like when you're like, I think we have something?
It was, first of all, it was overload of information because there are so many great ingredients that you can put in a lip product. And I'm so familiar with all the oils and essential oils that can be put in one. So with a lot of trial and error and like a lot of conversation, a lot of back and forth, a lot of ideas, we were able to just come up with this perfect concoction, and that's what FillerFix is today.
And it works.
And it works.
So your target audience is mainly people that have lip filler, but and also I would think that a lot of times the practitioners that are doing lip fillers, they would be wonderful clients of theirs because this would be a wonderful, hey, thank you so much for being my client, and here's a gift for you, right? So I see like the whole possibilities for this brand just being brilliant. But also for people like me that haven't had filler, the ingredients in here are just like clean and fresh. I also like the fact that you have like a ceramic like little applicator,
It's
which
very
is like
cooling and
to you.
comforting.
Yep, and it stays cool all the time. Like even in my bag when
Just
it's
at room
hot,
temperature,
yeah,
it still feels cool.
It feels so cool on your lips, and it's so soothing and nice, especially after you've gotten lip filler.
And I'm also thinking after the beach, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We happen to be filming the show on Long Island, and even though people are flying in from all over the world today, which is so exciting, sometimes you get beach lips. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I'm saying?
Like sunburn lips.
Sunburn lips.
Yeah.
And I could just feel like, oh, that would be like kind of like nice.
When they're trapped in the
and
winter, it's
Yeah.
just anytime.
Okay, so for men, women, everybody, it's
Yep.
all good and it's clean and it's fresh and it's mindful.
It's
I like
all
that.
organic,
I
it's
even
all
like it
natural.
on the bag. It says clean, effective, and mindful.
Yep.
It's a mindful product. When your friends were starting to use it, or when you realized that you had something that you were going to take to market, like who called someone and said, "This is the moment"? Like, did you go out for dinner or anything, or how did you celebrate?
I feel like we had lots of celebrations, like
You
along
did?
the way, little like timeline, little things that have gone on. But
We
I
threw
mean,
a little launch party.
Yeah, we had a
and
launch
friends
party.
And family.
Yep, with friends and family.
Great.
That was really nice and fun.
Yeah, and what a great name too. So it's FillerFix. It's so simple and so pure. When you both kind of met, right? Like, how long have you guys been friends? Like, what's your founder story? Everybody's got a founder
I
story.
don't know, 15 years.
A while?
Yeah.
Mike been together.
Yeah, when me and Mike first started dating, I met Ashley because our husbands are best friends forever.
I
And
heard
so,
since kindergarten.
Since kindergarten, yep. And so we met, and we were always friendly, you know, like friends. And then I don't know, we just started talking more and more and more. And then when I got lip filler done, I always reached out to Ashley about all of her recommendations for organic products and natural products because that was always like her thing.
Okay.
And so when I reached out and she didn't know of anything, I was like, hold on.
Wait.
Like, you have like the knowledge of like the medical side and like all like the natural stuff. And I have the knowledge of like all the oils. Let's put this together and like create this thing. And we did.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, congratulations. I'm happy for your husbands. I'm happy for you both because it's nice
you.
to like be like married into a friendship and then everybody gets along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and then you birth the product, right?
Yeah.
It's like you all share a child. So congratulations, auntie and auntie of this and mommy of this. This is awesome. And where can someone get it? I think you just got on Amazon,
Yes,
right?
as of 2 weeks ago, Amazon, on our website, and we'll soon be on Prime shipping.
Great. And it's easier to apply than mascara. You know, like mascara is just like this.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just use your applicator, zippity-doo, and you're out the door.
Yep.
And how long does it last? Is it one-time application for the day? Do
As often as you need.
Okay. Whenever you just want that little bit of moisture, and that little bit of joy.
Typically, after filler, you're going to be doing it every couple of hours because you're sore.
It's going to soothe it.
And then it kind of tapers down as the healing process gets better, and then you just keep using it because you like it.
There you go. A way to make your lips look even brighter and better, right, after the filler. Thank you so much. There you go. It's FillerFix. I learned something new today. I hope you did as well. I'm definitely going to try this, and I highly recommend it. So it is clean, effective, and mindful. I'm kissing you from my audience with my lips. FillerFix. Be well, and thank you for watching. Joining us now is Monica Michel, and she is the founder of Cozimara. Welcome to the show, Monica. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Donna. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So you have an interesting journey, one that I've never really shared with my audience before, but you were born and raised in the Philippines, but then you went on to serve in the United States military with the Navy. So thank you for your service. What a beautiful journey that is.
Thank you. So I've been in 16 years now, so it's still serving all the way to 20. So one more tour.
Absolutely beautiful. What made you decide to start Cozimara? What was the inspiration behind that?
Yeah, so Cozimara was inspired by my own experience as a new mom. Like so many parents, I wanted bath time to feel peaceful and special, a chance to bond with my baby. But in reality, it was stressful and overwhelming. I remember being nervous about holding my slippery newborn and being worried about his safety and comfort. The bath inserts we tried didn't feel secure. They left him floating. And so I wish there was something better, something soft, supportive, and safe. And that mix of exhaustion, love, and worry is what led me to create Cozimara. So my goal was to design a safer and more comfortable way to make bath time less stressful and more joyful. And I think sharing that sense of peace and confidence with other parents is exactly why Cozimara exists.
So you created an entire system. You have different elements and different pieces that combine together to really swaddle and comfort the baby to make that a more enjoyable experience, correct? So what piece of that set did you come up with first? Like, how did you pull the whole brand together?
For me, it was the cushion. My main effort was to find a perfect solution to make my baby feel comfortable. So really, Cozimara stands out because of the safety and comfort that is built directly into that design. So unlike other baby bathtub that rely on loose inserts or mesh seats, Cozimara has an integrated quick drying cushion that is soft, comfortable, and non-slippery. So it supports your baby's delicate body like a bed, giving parents a sense of peace during bath time. And also beyond the tub itself, we also offer a thoughtfully curated bundle with our accessories like the bath thermometer and our hooded towel that makes bath time easier and more enjoyable for the entire family.
And also the thermometer is important because you don't want to scald the babies. You don't want it to be too cold or too hot. You want it to just kind of be like almost like a delicate room temperature, right? Because the scalding the child, or if it's too cold, right, you don't want to hurt their delicate skin.
Absolutely. So the set itself is there to have everything in your hand during bath time and not worrying about anything at all. So.
Now, what have the testimonials been like? How are people receiving this? You know, what are their thoughts on Cozimara?
So actually, we just launched this September, early this September. So people can connect with us directly through our website at www.cozimara.com, since we just started our journey. And we're excited to share it to everyone. And they can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok under @ShopCozimara. So I'm excited to see what people have to say once they experience Cozimara.
Well, I thank you, Monica, for trusting your new baby, your brand, into my hands. I'm going to do my very best to celebrate you. But congratulations once again, and thank you so much for your service and all that you've done for us. And I'm looking forward, like we have a lot of babies that have been born throughout all the people that work here. We've got a new baby also that's on its way soon around December. So maybe a Cozimara would be in their future. So thank you again for joining us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
It was nice to meet you. Be well, my friend. Take care.
Nice to meet you as well. Bye.
We love having innovators. We love celebrating new products and bringing the best to market so that you, our audience, can enjoy and love the items as well. And if you try the Cozimara, we'd love to hear from you. Please write us and let us know. Be well. This is Donna Drake. Happy journeys.
Take my hand, come with me, and we'll find better ways to be something much more. Live it up, live it up, live it up now.
Thanks for watching Live It Up. You can visit us at liveituptvshow.com.